Talk about starting early. She hasn't learnt to be unconfident yet. We've seen how social media has become the new public square where customers can express their satisfaction or frustration at products and companies at the click of a button. But can the better understanding of social media analytics help improve brand experience and service delivery? Today we have Freddie Herbst from BrandsEye in studio talk us through a case study in the food industry. Right, Freddie. Pizza Hut is the one that you've chosen, and tell us about how you went about this.
Thanks for having me, David. Yeah, Pizza Hut is really an interesting selection. The message that we want to articulate is that there's great value in being able to measure sentiment within the social data. And if one can measure the sentiment and look at the topics that are driving that sentiment and do that in real time, you really have a dashboard of what your consumers feel like, love and hate about your business. So here you can see we're looking at Pizza Hut in the UK. And sensory experience is the winner here. 28% of the positive sentiment is driven by people who love the taste. Second to that is brand comparisons, the experience against other brands. And then delivery value adds.
So you see the order, what does the order mean there? The efficiency of the order?
So the efficiency of the order, and there is actually a uniqueness when Pizza Hut send out orders. The consumers often ask them to engage with them by asking them to collate a story or put something exciting on the box, and they draw a picture or write a poem.
So interesting, they're 28% on taste, 11% on pricing. That suggests that the value proposition is, they don't think the pricing's wonderful, but they're getting value.
Absolutely. They're getting value, they're enjoying the taste, they'll come back for more.
Right, what else have we got then?
So,
yeah, that's Pizza Hut UK common complaints, okay? Correct. So it's the same business, but the common complaints.
So the first slide talks to why do people buy my pizzas? This one talks to why do people not buy my pizzas? Yeah. And you can see there's a glaring 37% here that says there's a problem with our turnaround time. That turnaround time refers to counter orders. So once you've gone in and placed an order, it's taking too long to get to the table.
So you're sitting there waiting for them to give you your order?
Correct. During this time, remember, we're measuring what people are saying online. So if one's experiencing it, more than likely the other 10 in the queue are also experiencing it. And people are tweeting this not always to the brand, but about them. You can see delivery time is the third one there with 20%. Okay, this is very interesting, David. We're moving on to the completely inverse sentiment here, looking at the South African market. You've just shown us in that previous slide how taste was the driver there, whereas here, staff service is actually what South Africans like about the Pizza Hut brand.
Yeah.
See, we've jumped back to complaints.
Is this... there we are. Let's stay on that one. Yeah.
So, as I said, inversely here, South African people tend to like the good service and are not too fussed about the price, which is very surprising for us, because you'll remember in one of JP's sections, we saw that there was a huge issue about price with one of the chicken brands.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Moving on to the next one is having a look at how brands match up with one another. And I saw in your previous interview that taste got a bit of a knock there. If they had to see this slide, they'd be happy. Because here we're showing how they compare against their competitors. But if you look closely, you'll see only 0.1% separates the top three. The reason I show this slide is it highlights the importance for people to measure this because it's such a neck-and-neck race.
Now, how many people would be voting, as it were, on this? What kind of universe are we talking about here?
So it depends. When we looked at the sentiment in the UK, we were looking over a two-month period where we had at least 30,000 mentions coming into the account. In South Africa, we went for a smaller, shorter section where we were looking at about 8 to 10,000.
Okay. Right, let's look now at the trend of the week. So there we are, trend of the week, and we have the tweets coming through. South Africa, hashtag state capture, hashtag Sean Abrams, Pravin Gordhan, and yeah, it's been quite a week.
So in true and wonderful South African form, you can see that in spite of it being a disastrous week politically, really, South Africans have taken to Twitter and used the social media to create a bit of light through humour. Well,
let's have a look at some of the comments. Sean Abrams, be like, you're getting summons, you're getting summons, you're getting... Everybody's getting summons. Yeah.
You know, profession.
Yep. What's that one? Me trying to make sense out of this week's news. Yeah, a lot of comment on how could the NPA really think that this is a real case against Pravin Gordhan. That's been a lot of the commentary.
And, of course, followed up by one summons after the next.
That's a nice one from Ranjeni Munasamy. Thuli must just press the send all tonight and copy to everyone and say, oh, sorry, in the morning.
That is brilliant.
Or fire me, boss. Of course, she's her last day, so she can't be fired.
There's a take on the movie.
Yeah. Yep. And then very soon, hashtag Monticello, hashtag Gordon and Julius Malema will be charged from speeding tickets from 1988.
100%. Again, a good example of what type of topics are motivating people to...
So, this must have excited a lot of business this evening and today and during the week. And what's the kind of... the trend? We talked about the trend of the week. The trend, from what one can tell, is that very sceptical about these charges against Pravin Gordhan.
100%, and it indicates a pretty much negative sentiment and a lack of faith towards the government, and people actually starting to turn to others now and make jokes and make fun of it.
Yeah, and that's a sign, isn't it? When an institution loses credibility, it's when they start making jokes.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what we found.
That is Freddie Herbst from BrandsEye, and that's it from the Closing Bell South Africa team for today. Right after this, we've got more Closing Bell, rather not more Closing Bell, but more CNBC Africa. Don't go away.